In first class, I have explained about this one introduction. What skills required for front end? What skills required for back end? What skills required for full stack developer? Okay, and what is the basic elements and what is the basic structure of HTML in the part 1. So you can see that part 1 here. All the headings I have explained, you can see in the browser actually. Let me open. So in browser you can open here. So you just right click here, right click of the file. Here you can see open with live server. Here you can see all we practiced. So for this we used h1 to h6 elements for headings. Here we used paragraph actually. P element we used. If we want to write some address kind of things, we can use pre element. So for image displaying, we can use the image element. Here we used some break elements for giving multiple line spaces. If we want to give some horizontal line, I have used HR element. And these two are the links, hyperlinks we have used. If we see in the part 1 HTML code, this is the headings h1 to h6. Paragraph for paragraph we written like this. If we want to write some address, we can use pre element. If we write a paragraph, it will not come in next line. It will come here like this. See, it will come like this. If we use paragraph, if we use pre element, it will come like this. So we should use pre element address kind of things. Okay. For horizontal line, we can use this HR element. This will not have any end tag. For other elements will have end tag. See, if you see pre element, this is the starting tag, this is ending tag. But if we see these two elements and image also, these three elements will not have end tag. Okay. And what else? Yeah, break element you can use inside in between the content also. Let's say after hello I want to break content into next line, then we can use this one break in between the words. This hyperlinks we can use for navigating one place to another page. From here we can navigate to Google. From here, if we click on this Facebook, it will navigate to this one. That is the summary of part 1. Okay, if anyone missed part 1 video, they can go. I have given in the descriptions of this video, so you can click on that and you can watch the first part. This is about second part. Okay, second part I am starting today. So in second part I am going to explain these things. List. So let's say I want to display some list. Okay, then we can use this list. I will show you practically. And tables, if we want to create some tables, let's say some students report I want to create, then we can use the table. Form, let's say I have some login form or registration form, then we can use this form. I will show you how we can create registration form or login form. Okay, then label element with for attribute, this also a part of the form. This three is there, is completely part of the forms only. I will explain while explaining the part form. Okay, and block level element, inline elements. These are, there is two types of elements are there in complete HTML. One is block level elements, second one inline elements. So I will tell the difference while doing practically. And the audio, how we can insert audio in our web page. Let's say if you see in most of the apps or websites, you will see some audio or videos. So how we can integrate that? So we can make some app kind of thing. We can display some 10 20 audio or video things. One by one we can play it. So basic thing I will explain today, how we can insert audio or how we can do video and all. And some semantic elements are there. I will explain what is this after this. Meta information also there. Okay, let's come one by one practically, then only you can understand it. Okay, so first of all, list. What is the list? Let's say I want to display some list, so I will show you here practically. So I will add some heading here for differentiating part 1 and part 2. You are able to see, or I will just zoom it little bit so that you will understand it. I just zoomed it. Okay, I can hide this left part also. Okay, now more space will come. Okay. Now let's say part 2 of part 2 HTML. Okay, just a heading I added. Now list, how we can, I'm taking first one, this one list. How can I show you? So you can use, there is two types of list is there, order list and order list. Order list we will use the OL. Once I write you will get to know. Let's say some coffee, some items if you want to display, you can use this one. Let me paste it. Coffee, tea, some cool drink. Now let's see this one, how it will come this. Okay, I just saved it. Okay, you can save from here also. Here save option is there. Okay, and if you go to browser, this is part 1 HTML, so I'm just differentiating this one. So here list came. See, like this you can display the list. If you want to write some multiple list, if you want to display, you can use like this. This 1 2 3 you can change it. Instead of 1 2 3, if you want to display ABC, then you can change it. I'm going to change this one with ABC. Let's see. You can use with here one attribute will be there, type. Okay, type equal to some small a, then C, then it will start with ABC. See, it started with ABC. If I want to, I will add one more. Instead of changing in same list, I want to give bigger caps ABC instead of small ABC. See here, caps ABC is coming. Okay, here small ABC. So based on our requirement we can use it. There are some more things are there. So I will just show you Roman characters. If you want to write some Roman characters as a list, you can use like this. See, and I want caps 1, then I can use here caps 1, caps I, then caps Roman letters will come as a list. Okay, this completely based on our requirement. By default, if we don't give any type, numbers will come. This is ordered list actually. Okay, if you write some then what is unordered list? So I'm just writing here unordered list. I can give some heading better so that we cannot confuse. I will use H3 for heading now. This is ordered list. Okay, under that everything will come. Okay, now I am going to show you unordered list. How can I show you? Let's see here. I will write some heading just for differentiating. Unordered list. Under this I am going to write unordered list. Unordered list we will write using UL element. Okay, inside that li is the element we will write for the list. Okay, here same thing we can, let's copy, otherwise same thing. Let's see now how it will come. See, unordered list means like this it will come. Some bullet kind of thing is coming. These dots, you can change these dots also based on your requirement. Okay, let's say I want to change it to some circle. So let's go here. And change it to same attribute, type attribute we will use for changing the bullet or circle, the type circle. So I'm just changing to circle. Let's see now what will happen. See, now circles are coming instead of this one bullets. Now I want to change it to square. Okay, then go here and change it to square. Let's save it and see here square is coming. Okay, now I want to change it. What we can change it? Anything missed? None means nothing will come. Bullet only will not come. Okay. Yeah, that's it about unordered list. This is the default one actually. So you can change it to circle, you can change it to square as also. This is ordered list means you can use as a ABC caps, ABC Roman letters or 1 2 3. 1 2 3 is the default one. If you don't write any this type attribute, that 1 2 3 will come. Unordered list will come. Are you able to hear me properly? Any voice issues or anything is coming? No clarity video. Okay. Still able, no clarity? If you have laptop, you can switch to laptop better, because mobile I don't think clarity will come. So you can use better laptop if you have using. Okay. For now you can watch. I will upload a recorded one also. Then you will get more clarity one. Okay. Okay. This is about order list and unordered list. Let's see now what is the next topic. Okay, next topic is the table. How we can create the table. Okay, let's say I have one student report I want to create, then how can I do the table part? Okay, I will write some heading for table. Say I will use h3 table. Now after this I will start with table element. We will use the table element for writing table. Inside that 2 sections will be there. Okay. If we take this HTML, 2 sections are there inside HTML root element. One is head section, one is body section, right? So similar way we will have 2 sections inside table. Okay, one is t head. T head will have all the, for headings we will write t head, and body, for body part we will write the t body element. T body means table body. This is t head means table head. Okay, inside table head we will write the row. We will write row using tr element. Okay, in tr we will write the th. Tr means table row. Okay, th means table heading. So this elements we will write inside nested format. Okay, t head inside t head we will write the columns. Let's say I want to display some 3 headings. One is name, student name. I can say student name. After that I want to give some marks. After that I want to give what we can give some area, whatever, some location, student location I want to display here. Okay, now let's save this one. First I am just showing heading part, how it will display. Okay, just see in the browser how it will come. See, student name, marks, location, 3 things are coming as a heading. Okay, let's write same format like this only. You can do it inside t body also. T body is for the content, multiple rows you can add it. For example, I am adding 1 row. Okay, inside tr is common for t head and t body. T head means table head, t body means table body. Inside table row we will use the td. Td means table data. Here table heading we used, here table data. Okay, inside table data I will use some student name as a Srinath someone, okay, and one more TD as two more TDs we want, because here marks out of 100, let's say 70. Location is some location. Okay, now let's see how table works. See, under this each heading corresponding value is coming. Student name is Srinath, marks 70, location is this one. Okay, so like that you can add multiple rows. So I'm just adding one more row here. Let's copy this one. Let's rename this one as a some Gopal. This score he got 80, and some his native is okay. Let's save this one. Here just spelling mistake. See, now I have two students, Srinath and Gopal. They got 70 and 80 marks, and their location is this one. Okay, like that you can create multiple rows. Let's say I want to create one more row. You can just copy this one and you can use this one. Let's say, and here some 50, some what it say, AP something. See now. Okay, now I want to give some border here, because currently there is no border is there, so it's difficult to divide the columns. So how we can give the border? We can give the border in CSS. All styling part will come in the CSS part. Just I will show you today starting about CSS. After that briefly I will tell you in the CSS session. So CSS we will write inside head element. Okay, we will use a style inside head. We will use a style element. Okay, inside style element I want to write some style for tr. Then border, I want to give some border. We will give like this. I will explain in the CSS section properly. Let's say I want to give some red color. Let's see now. tr. Okay, why it is not coming? Let's give for th td. For both it will apply th and td. See, now it is coming like this border actually. Okay, you can multiple borders you can remove it using border collapse. Border collapse. I will explain this one properly in the CSS session, but this one not. See, border collapse means it will make it multiple borders to single border. Okay, we will use the border like this. Okay, so I applied border for t head and table data for both. Here if you see inside table head, one thing is there, table head. Inside that only we are writing. So here if you see table body part, we are writing data part inside td. Okay, that's why I given for CSS for th and td elements. Okay, like this. Okay, so like that you can create the multiple columns and multiple rows. Okay, you can use as a progress card kind of things. You can develop it. Any questions you are facing? No clarity? Okay, fine. Then after table, what is the next one? Forms. Okay, let's use the forms. Let's minimize this one first. So forms, we will start with form element. Okay, inside form, let's say forms we will use for some registration form or login form kind of things. Okay, so just let's say I want to give some username colon some input I want to display, then I can use input type equal to text. So input we will write like this, input element. Let's save this one first. So I will write, before this I will write some heading h3, then form. Let's save this one. See, form is coming like this, username colon, here some input is coming. You can write some username here, anything, whatever. So if you want to create form, you can use the form element. Inside that you can write multiple inputs. Let's say I want to create username, then username colon this one, some input. Okay, this username you can keep inside one element. Instead of directly texting like this, you can keep inside label. One element is there, label. I will tell you about label after this, after forms. Okay, what is the use of label? For now you can use for text you can display inside label. Okay, let's save this one. Same thing will come display wise, but some usage are there for label. Okay, after that let's say I want to display now what is that, username. After username, password I want to display, then copy paste this one. I want to display password. Here you will use the password instead of text. Now let's see, this is the username, this is password. Let's say I'm typing something here, password will come, it will not appear to you because that is the sensitive information. Okay, other users should not see while typing. Let's say I'm only typing my password, you people are seeing my live, so you should not see my password. So this password will look like this one. Okay, that is the difference between type text and type password. Okay, that is about password. Now we want, okay, now I want to display this one in the next line. How can I display? We can use break element here. Break I already explained about in previous section. It will break the content into next line. Okay, see, here it's breaken into next line. If I use one more break, see, some more space is coming. So that's based on our requirement, we can give this thing. We can use the breaks. Break means it breaking line, it will break the line. Okay, so after I have username and password, now I need some button to save it. Okay, so let's use some breaks before giving button, and use some button. How you can use it? Input type equal to submit. Submit means you want to submit some form, then here you will give the value. Value means I will show you value where it will come, some submit. See, here submit button is coming. Okay, so that we can submit this form to the backend, so that we can save these details to the backend. Okay, so value, let's come to value part. Okay, by default here nothing is coming, right? If I want to put something while page load, then you can use this value. Let's say value equal to some by default I want to show this one src. Then if you see here, see, without typing it is coming. That is the use of the value actually. Okay, so here if you, in this case, value will display inside the button. Input type submit means for submitting the form we will use this kind of thing, input type equal to submit. Okay, Now if you submit it, it will navigate to the same place, because here we need to give one action file. That is not required in this case. Let's leave for now. Okay, for now this is the basic form: username, password, and submit. Let's say I have some different use cases are there. I want to ask some address as for the user. Then I will use uh, I can use this one, input. Instead of input, text area will be there. Okay, text area is the element. You can write the multiple lines of the content. Okay, so just to see how it will come. Text area, see, text area is coming like this. So you can write multiple lines. Okay, you can increase this width and height also. Text area, I will show you how we can write the styling. Here you go to here. For text area I want to write some styles. Then I will give width column some 200. I want to give just height, don't know width. Then height column some 200 pixel I want to give. See, now height is coming. Width also I can give, no problem. I want to make it 100. Width also I want to make it some 200 pixel. Now let's see, width and height I given. In CSS we can give like this, width and height for any element. Here we used the tag of that element. Okay, so now we can display some address. Like say my address is this one, some mandal name, some district name. Okay, some state. So like that you can write it, but in text field this is just a single line of text user can enter. Text area, multiple lines you can enter it. Address kind of thing you can enter this one. Okay, for displaying this text address kind of thing you can use this one actually. If it is if you want to display just read only text, but if it is editable some form kind of thing you can use this one, text area. Okay, that is about text area. You can give width and height. For any input also you can give width and height. Just I showed here for text area. Let's say there are some more elements. Select box. Let's say you have some 5-6 options. From that 5-6 option you need to select only one. Then you can choose select box. Select element we will use. Inside that we will use the option. Inside option we will have let's say I want to select some car. Okay, then some companies are there, Maruti. Let's say some more options I want to display. What else is there? Some Bajaj. What else? Some whatever it is. Mahindra. So this I have 3 options. Let's see how this select box will work. Okay, so let's give some break here for breaking the row. Okay, see here it's okay. Let's give one more break after this also, because submit button is coming side by side. See, this Maruti is coming first option. Balaji and Mahindra, 3 options are selecting. Let's say I want to select this Bajaj. See, it's selected. So from this whatever we are showing multiple options, from that option user can pick up only one option. Okay, so then we can use the select box. One more case, I want to display by default this second option as a selected. Then you can use as a one attribute is there, selected attribute. Okay, where is this? Yeah, selected attribute is there. Once you save this one, then okay, where is this? 1 second. Yeah. Here you use selected attribute. Now this second option will select automatically when page loads. See, Bajaj is selected. So similar way you can do for Mahindra also. If you want to select third option is a default, you can use this attribute. For any one option you can use that attribute, then that option will select automatically from these selections. Okay, that is use of the select box. Then one more element is there. Checkbox. Let's say if you will see some forms kind of things, then they will ask some checkbox, agree terms and conditions. Let's say type equal to checkbox, save it. Let's write something after checkbox. Agree terms and conditions. Let's see this one how it will come. See, after this checkbox some label is displaying. Okay, once I click this one, I am agreeing. So few of the forms or registrations you will see this option, please agree some terms and conditions. Okay, otherwise they will not allow to submit the form or kind of thing. At that case you can use this checkbox whether you are agreeing or not. So you can use at that situation. Okay, there is one more case is there, radio button. Please select male or female, please select the gender. At that time you can use this one, a radio button. Okay, input type radio. Here you use as a male and you just female. Let's use another something, whatever. Let's save this one. See, before this one we can write select gender. Okay, now let's see, select gender, male, female, another is coming. So for asking whether you are male or female, this we can use the radio box. Okay, you should use here name also. Name means here, let's say this name should be common for 3 checkbox. Otherwise without name I will show you first. Let's say I'm selecting this one. See, multiple are selecting. So if we use the name, then you will see, let's say I'm using some name attribute. Now let's see how that will work. Now I am clicking this one male. If I click female, male will go. Okay, this is the use case, name attribute. Okay, radio box we will use for asking some option. Select some of one of the option from this, male or female or another one. Okay, you can choose like this. In most of the registration forms or Google registration or Facebook registration, they will ask this one, this also, agree terms and conditions. So for this we used checkbox, type equal to checkbox. Here radio button we used. Okay, for submitting this everything we used here submit button. Okay, and what about next? This is about select box, checkbox, as well as radio button, submit button. Okay, there are so many other cases are there in input. Here in this one again, input type equal sorry, in this type equal to text is there. There is so many other types are there. Okay, let's say type email is there. If you want to write some email, then you can use that. I will show you here. Let's copy this breaks. before in between the breaks, let's write something. Input type equal to email. Now if someone want to write some email, here you use some label for text email. Now let's see here I displayed email colon some text box. Type text also there, but here some advantage is there over the email. See if I try to submit, it is called input type submit. Actually it will check the validation of this email, but somehow it is not working now. I will check after this. But you should, for email kind of things, you can use this input type equal to email. Okay. Then there are other cases are there. Color, let's say I will copy this one instead of writing here some color. You just try here color. Let's see how it will display this color. See here color will display like this. If you click this one here, this selection of color, if you want to give some option to user select some color, you can give this one. Okay, just I'm selecting this one. Let's see multicolor. If you want to select, you can use this. Okay, in the form if you want to give some option to select color, you can use this one, type color. Okay, and one more thing, if you want to give some date, let's say some date I want to display to the user to select some address kind of some date of birth kind of things, I want to show my date to the user so that he will choose the date of birth. You can say here instead of date date of birth. Cool. Let's see now. See, so I want to show to the user select your date of birth in the registration form. Just click on this one. So here date picker is coming, right? So here if you go this thing, date picker will come. Okay, whatever your date you can choose it here, month, year, all these things will come. Okay, so yeah, without doing our own stuff with all these things, you can use the default date picker. Okay, using this one. Let's say I want to show some date and this month and week, weeks also there inside this one. Let's say I want to select some week, here week also there. Okay, week, just weeks it will show instead of complete date picker. See here complete week from here to here, week 16, which week it is you can select it. Month also you can similar way, month also there. Okay, so what else, there is one reset is there, one important thing. Okay, second. So here before after submit, along with the submit I want to show some reset. Once you fill something the data, then you want to reset the form, you don't want to whatever you filled, then you can use the reset. Now let's see reset is coming now. So let's fill something, some select all these things, some date picker also. So reset, see whatever all my selections it will go. One more time I will show you. Let's write something, some email, some this one, I selected this color. So once I reset, all will go under whatever the default one will come, color as well as all these things, it's cleaning. So this is very important option in the forms, input type equal to reset, it will reset the complete form. Okay, and let's say I want to disable some text field. How can I disable? Okay, this is also very good feature. Let's create one disabled input, just writing some label here. You just keep some text. You can use the disabled attribute. Okay, disabled attribute will make it will disable the input, so you cannot write it inside this one. This is disabled. For indication of disabled, we will use this disabled. Okay. Okay. One more thing, let's say I want to write some mobile number. Okay, some mobile number, then user should enter only numbers, then you can use input type number. Okay, disable. Let's remove this one. Let's see, user can type. If you type text also, it will not display, it will not type it key press and all, so only numbers will enter. Okay, and I want to restrict only 10 characters, so I don't want to enter more than 10 characters. Then I can use the max length here, max length. Okay, here I want to display only 10 characters because my mobile number will have only 10 characters. Okay, more than 10 I should not allow to the user to enter. See, max length, somehow it is allowing. I will verify this one why it's not working. Okay, so this is about the form, complete form. Okay, so what we learned inside form is very big, forms are very big to explain actually. So these are the basic things. Okay, inside the form. So what we learned in the form today, username, not username, text, input type text means some plain text you can display. This is input type password. If you want to write some password kind of thing, you can use this one. Text area, if you address kind of thing, if you want to ask user, then you can use the text area element. Then select box, from multiple options, if you want to select only one option, you can use this one, select box. This one, check box. వచ్చానాలే. So here we will use the checkbox. Okay, checkbox is for agreeing, are you agree or not. This multiple, are you sure, are you agreeing these terms and conditions. Okay, then you can use this checkbox. Okay, then radio button. Okay, you want to select some gender, then you can use this radio button, select male or female. Okay, then email, if you want to write some email, input type equal to email, you can use it. Then color, input type equal to color. This is date, input type date. Okay, if you want to allow only numbers, you can use type number. For disabled, you can use the disabled attribute. Okay, that's it about the forms. What this and all small topics will complete soon. Label element with for attribute. What is the, so I just used some places label attribute. So what is the use of label attribute, I will show you now. Let's say I have one, I have here, no? So here I have username. Okay, so if currently for typing something, we are focusing here and we are typing, but my requirement is when I click this username, I want to focus here, focus should have here like this. Then I can use the label attribute, label element with for attribute. Okay, let's say here I can use the for equal to some username. So same thing you can use as a ID here for input element. Here we are linking this label and the input. Okay, so using for attribute, we will write something, that same thing we will use as a ID for input field. Okay, Then when you click this label, this input will focus. Let's see whether it will focus or not. See, for that I'm just clicking the label for IT. Okay, this is spelling wrong. LJBL. Now let's see. See, it is focusing. Once I click this label, that input is focusing. So without clicking directly to the input, you can click on the label and you can focus it, that input field. Okay, so here also spelling mistake is there. Just let me correct it. Okay, that is about the label element with for attribute. Okay, so if you want, without clicking directly to the input, you can click the label and that will focus automatically that input element. And what is the next one? Yeah, this one, field set and legend. So if you want to give some border around the form or any element, you can use the field set element. Legend is for the title. If you want to display some title, you can use the legend element. Okay, let's say inside form I can use the field set. I want to give some border, then I am going to use here field set. All I am moving inside field set. Okay, so where is the end form? Here. So I'm just formatting. You can do here, right click, format document is there, that will align all the elements. So inside the field set element, I just given all my form elements. Let's see now how it will come. See, complete border is coming for complete form. Now I want to display some title of the form. How can I display? Let's use some here legend element will give the title of the form. Let's say registration form. Save it and let's see here, this title is coming here. So if you want to display this title in the middle, you can write some CSS for let's say text align center. I will show you how it will come. So I want to keep that title in the middle, then I can use here text align center. See, in middle of the form, it is coming the title. If you want right side, so if you want right side, you can display using text align right. Okay, let's use that one. See, right side is coming. So most of the people will put in center only. See, so for this I used legend element. For coming border complete the around complete form, I used the field set element. Okay, so those two are the combination actually, field set and legend. Yeah, that's it about the forms, complete forms. And then come to block level elements and inline elements. Okay, what is block level elements and what is inline elements? Block level elements means whatever we are writing, that element will occupy complete browser width. Okay, inline element means base whatever content is there inside element, only that content it will take. So let's write some block level elements. Block level element is example is paragraph. Okay, paragraph, you can say some content. See here, currently it is coming till here, right? So I'm just giving some border, then you will get to know. Using some class I can give the border So instead of using this tag, I'm using some class for giving the styling. Okay, if I use the p element, that will apply for the all paragraphs, so I don't want to apply, so I used some class here for giving the style. Let's say I want to give border. So similar way you can give, here we are giving a border, so similar way you can give border. Then let's see this paragraph element is occupying the complete width of the browser. Okay, but my content is there only till here. So let's use some inline elements also, then you will get to know what is the difference. So inline element example is span. Okay, so let's write some border for inline element. I want to give some green color border. Let's save this one. See, this span is taking till here only. Okay, so it's not occupying the complete width. So if you see here block level element, that is occupying the complete width of the browser. So but inline element, for example span, it's taking only till content only, that border is coming. Okay, so that inline elements you can use inside block level elements. So let's say I have one element, some paragraph, hello, how are you. Okay, inside this one, for how are you, I want to highlight it, I want to give some different color, then I can use the inline element, and I can move that how are you to inline element, and I can use here some style for the span. Okay, let's give some class here. Let's write some color here for span. So let's give some color orange. Let's see now how it will come. See, in hello how are you, I am highlighting this how are you using this span. So at that time you can use the inline elements. If you want to write something inside block level for particular content, if you want to highlight color or background color or font size something, you can use the inline element and you can write particular styles. Then let's come to audio and video. So let's say I want to display some video. Okay, you can use the video element, video here, source, inside that we will use the source element. Yes, inside a source element we will use the src attribute. So here we will give the path of the video. Okay, let's say I have one video, this one inside this folder, movie.mp4. okay, that I want to give here, that is there inside this folder. Let's give that complete path, media slash movie dot. Okay, so here we need to give the type of the video, what type of video it is. So here let's say this video is video slash mp4. This is MP4 video. So the type of video we need to give using the type attribute. Okay, inside src attribute we will give the path of the video. Here two attributes are there for video. One is autoplay. If you want to play automatically, you can use the autoplay. Okay. One more attribute is controls. Controls means that play, pause, all that things will come if you use the controls. Let's see these controls. See, here my video is displayed and some controls are coming. Play, pause, all this volume, reduce or full screen, all these things. Okay. If I remove that controls attribute, then we'll see what will happen. See that controls are not coming. So now I cannot play or pause or volume, reduce, all things I cannot perform. So that controls attribute is required. Okay, for any video. Now I want to play automatically this video. Then I can use one attribute autoplay. Now let's see. See, it is playing automatically this video. Okay, without clicking this play option. So that is about autoplay part. So based on your requirement, you can use that autoplay whether you want to play automatically or not. And you can use some height and width also for this video. If you want to display some bigger one, you can give some width and height also. Okay, similar to video, audio also. Instead of type video or MP4, you will give audio. Okay, audio / MP3 like that. Then meta information useful mainly in the SEO, search engine optimization. Okay, I will show you what is meta information.
I found this on the web.
Okay, so meta information we will write inside head element. Okay, inside head we will write using meta element. Meta name equal to name and content, two attributes will be there. Inside name we will write the we can write author who written this web page, author of the name. Okay, or description, what is the description of this web page, or keywords, what keywords it's contain, this web page contains. Okay, all this you can write inside content, but here you can write the, let's say I want to write some author. Here inside name you can display the author. Inside content you can write the author name. Okay, so this is about author. You can display description also, description of the web page using name equal to description. Here you can write the description of the web page. Let's say it's HTML basics. You can write multiple lines. Okay, and what about keywords? Let's say what keywords your web page consists. Okay, keywords. Here you can write some keywords, what keywords this web page having. So let's say HTML, some basics. Multiple keywords you can use, you can separate with comma. Okay, some full complete tutorial. So all that whatever keywords you are writing based on the your web page, you can write all these keywords and description and author. So this the meta information will useful in the SEO. SEO means search engine optimization. Let's say if you go to Google and if you are searching something, let's say I'm searching some Kohli, so that corresponding web pages or websites are coming here. So let's say some ClickBuzz, Wikipedia, all these things are coming. So if we write better this meta information, so there is some chances are there to come our web page or website in the search results. Okay, like this. So that's it about meta information. This we will write completely in the head element. Yeah, that's it about part 2. So in part 2 I have explained about all these things: list, order list, unordered list, tables. If we want to write some progress report kind of things, you can use the table. I have explained about the forms. If you want to write some registration form or login form, you can use the forms. Field set and legend will give the border and title of the form. Audio and video useful for the, if you want to insert some video or audio, you can use this one. Meta information useful in the SEO, search engine optimization. If you want to, your web page should come in the search results, then you can write better metadata, then that will useful in the SEO. So that's it about part 2. If you have any questions or anything required, just comment. Okay. No clarity, keep in 1080 for clarity. Okay. Okay, I will check why clarity is not coming in the next video. So that's it for second part. So you can practice part 1 and part 2 for next video. Meanwhile, I will check why clarity is not coming. Okay, I will send the recorded one that will have more clarity. So you can go through that recorded one and you can watch one more time. Okay. That's it about today's session. Thank you so much. క్లారిటీ ఎందుకు లేదు అర్థం కాలే. అవి రికార్డెడ్ క్వాలిటీ వస్తున్నాయి, స్ట్రీమింగ్ రావట్లేదండి. అవి ఇంకా వైఫైలో ఉండి చేయాలేమో.